You know, you could probably walk into any bar across this great land of ours, and if you were looking to make friends or have some conversation, and you shouted out, "Hey, anybody got any stories about a crazy ex they want to share?" I have little doubt that you'd be covered up for the rest of the evening. Sometimes, not denying I am a member of the social community or the social platforms, a lot of stuff comes over my feed regarding religion. God knows I've probably posted enough of it myself about certain perils and about certain things to identify. But I don't think, I'm convinced, most everybody that posts that stuff has gone through it. It's like talking about a crazy ex. It's like we may like to think we've always been in this place of seeing so clearly. But for the most part, and if we are still complaining about that crazy ex, it really shows we are not left that crazy ex as much as we think we have. You know? And I think sometimes, and I've said, appears to me, that everybody's got to work through the principle of law. Not only the law is given in the Bible and the scriptures, which was for the people of Israel, the Hebrews, but that even us Gentiles have a predilection, an inclination, a certain drifting into law, even as a principle that we need to be delivered from, and that only Christ can do that. And I wondered, has any man just ever come to Christ and just seen it all grace immediately and just embraced grace in such a way that he has found himself to be totally immune to all of the traps and snares that religion would present? I suppose, God willing, some could, but even when I was looking into the Galatians, I had to ask, were the Galatians, just to make sure, were they mostly a Gentile church? And they were, according to the histories I've read about them. And yet here's Paul talking to them, who has bewitched you, O foolish Galatians? So there's this tendency, this thing that must be overcome and only overcome through the death of the Lord Jesus Christ to it. These religious inclinations, machinations, rituals, superstitions, ways of relating that are not relating at all, but only through ordinances and commandments, and not a true heart-to-heart, face-to-face relationship, in which, because we recognize God has given us to be as bold as we are, he treats us as boldly as he is. He'll let us know. He'll speak to us. He'll reprove us. Rather than try to color within the lines or have some sort of written ordinance, or however you want to put it, we try to stay inside, that if we do go and are found coloring outside the lines in such a way as displeases him, we have a Father. He'll let us know. But that's kind of how I see it now. I've been in relationships, known many in relationships, been among men who are more than willing to talk about their crazy ex-girlfriend, or crazy ex-wife. And I've known a few men who have said and understood, if I'm going on about her craziness, maybe I need to examine myself and see what about the crazy attracted me. Was she always crazy? If she was, why didn't I see it? If she became crazy, it's even fewer men that might admit They might have had some part in that. Maybe I pushed some buttons. Maybe I threw the crazy lever. I'm thinking she's the crazy one. But I'm the crazy one. I'm the one that inflicted it on her. Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard when we're in the midst of our experiences and reactions to what we think of as our clean slate self, that nobody should find any offense with because we're clean slate, and obviously if anything is projected our way, it's their problem. Couldn't possibly be a result of the way I am. Well, we get over that eventually in the Lord Jesus Christ. Not that we have to feel any shame about who we are, but at least recognize we have an effect. And maybe not everybody that reacts to us a certain way that we don't find pleasing is wrong. Maybe that is precisely what we need, precisely what's ordained, and even right for them to feel this way. Oh, but it's so much better to think, if there's any evil eye coming at me, it must be them. Yeah, we get over that. God knows. Kind of leaves us in a place where, well, if that's the situation, if I really don't know, am I the turd in the punch bowl? Is there a turd in the punch bowl? How would I know? There's only one we can rely on for any right judgment of us. And he's not judging us to a condemnation. He's judging us, even that we might judge ourselves, that we not be judged with the world. But, as I said, it's pretty rare. I do remember talking to one guy. He had just gotten out of a relationship, and he was saying things along that line. Yeah, I got to look at myself and see what about myself was attracted or attracted the crazy. Then he went right into another relationship. And he found out what it means to go from the frying pan into the fire. But I think he was on the right track. This time he might even ask. Who knows? Maybe I got more crazy in me than I thought. It not only attracts the crazy, but triggers the crazy. But of course, such things are just such things. But anyway, as far as religion goes, I think a lot of us talk like we've broken out of a relationship with a crazy ex. And we feel free to whatever extent to talk about it like we now seem as though we would have never had anything to do with that if we knew better. But we didn't. And so I am even all the more persuaded. We all have to pass through. We all pass through that very strong attraction to the law, that very strong attraction to even the principle of law that tells us if I do a certain thing, I'm within the lines and I deserve a certain treatment and am not deserving of some other treatment. I'm legal. I'm legitimate. Get the hell out of here. Yeah. We find out what we find out, brothers and sisters. Praise be to God for it.